This is the story about Charles Butland, an internationally renowned inventor and entrepreneur with an impressive history of developing cutting-edge products and technologies. But what is truly remarkable about this man is the fact that Butland had no formal training in any of the sciences which many of his inventions are based. His accomplishments have been featured in numerous publications, including Forbes magazine, Business Week, Wired, Popular Mechanics, and R&D Research, to name a few. He has appeared on several television shows such as Up to the Minute, Future Watch, Good Morning America, and Beyond 2000, and many regional news and cable programs. He also founded several successful businesses, including Atlantic Seafood, a fresh seafood wholesaler, and 2 container shipyards. Butland invented a process which took discarded waste products and recycled it into logs.
And it was called the super log.
In 1982, Butland worked with law enforcement agencies worldwide to develop a process to read and preserve fingerprints. Using a chemical compound found in superglue, this process was responsible for evidence which led to the capture of the Night Stalker and thousands of other felons. This has changed the way which law enforcement has processed fingerprints. Butland's fingerprint detection increased conviction rates with fingerprints from 1% in 1982 to over 30% today.
Welcome back, everybody. Time to play the music. Needless to say, one of the biggest stories unfolding right now is that of the Olympic Games being held in Sydney. CNBC, well represented down there, with Liz Clayman on the scene. Liz, what's this you're talking about now? A game of tag?
I went shopping. Yeah, I went shopping here, Nanette. Olympic shopping is really a sport in and of itself, and really what people don't realize is when they buy official merchandise, they're getting a souvenir along with the price. That is the DNA of an Australian Olympic athlete. It's been swabbed on all of the tags here as part of anti-counterfeiting measures that the Olympic Committee has come up with.
As bizarre as it sounds, it seems to be working.
Yeah, these pins aren't licensed. These pins are copies.
As this surveillance video shows, the DNA technology worked to bust this man who was allegedly selling these counterfeit pins.
So far we've seized about around about 1,000, maybe 1,100 counterfeit pins. The Sydney Olympic Committee, using DNA and putting a program in place like this, has solved a lot of problems.
Problems like those faced during the Atlanta Games, where counterfeiting was rampant because the Olympic logo could so easily be copied. So in 1996, the Olympic Committee hired Los Angeles-based DNA Technologies. The company has patented a virtually counterfeit-proof ink mark which contains a person's genetic code. Olympic brand protection manager Catherine McGill says it was the committee's idea to use the DNA of an Australian Olympic athlete.
That was, I think, really part also of a marketing strategy.
Ron Taylor is managing director of DNA Technologies.
What we first do is take a buccal swab from inside the cheek cells, just take some DNA cells. They add in additional DNA to mask the code as well, and then that's mixed into inks, dyes, resins. We've just got a mark that's hidden on there. Once we hit that mark, it sets off our scanner, as you can see there.
A complicated process, but the committee has good reason to use it. An official T-shirt sells for $20. This jacket, $150. And people are literally lining up at the doors and cash registers to buy this stuff. It's estimated that total sales will reach $700 million. The Olympic Committee gets up to 20% of that.
The DNA program has been a very good success. Basically, people are aware the products are marked with the DNA sticker, and it's impossible to counterfeit it.
And so far, counterfeiting has been much less of a problem during the Sydney Games than in Atlanta, in part because of advanced warnings of the DNA tagging and the vigilance of the DNA detectives.
Thank you, Liz. That's Liz Clayman down in Sydney.
Up front tonight, a revolutionary tool in the fight against crime: fingerprints. And we all know about the use of fingerprints in catching criminals. We've seen it in news broadcasts and movie after movie. What isn't as well known is that they were effective only in very limited circumstances. But now the odds may be changing in favor of the police. A new method enables detectives to find sharp, clear fingerprints in places where old methods fail to show the prints. And the discovery of this method is as fascinating as the result.
Butland took this basic concept and created a consumer product, a personal tracking system for lost or stolen property called GhostPrint.
Major studios use special seals and certificates to vouch for a cell's authenticity. The artist's autograph is also a pretty good authenticator. So nowadays, Joe Barbera signs with a special pen, one that contains ink infused with his own DNA. ArtGuard's president, Charlie Butland, says the system can be easily changed to keep counterfeiters off balance.
And so what we've incorporated is a moving target. And by the time he thinks he's got to where he thinks he understands what the process is, it's not there anymore. It's something else.
Joe Barbera says it's a solution to an age-old problem, forgery, in a new setting.
Now, there's nothing new about forging signatures. That's been done God knows how long on checks and whatever and documents. But it's never been attacked in this particular business, which is a huge, new, booming business. So you really need protection. This is the best way.
David George, CNN, Los Angeles.
Tomorrow Today appears on CNN's Future Watch and Science and Technology Week.
Butland was recently awarded the prestigious R&D Award, dubbed the Nobel Prize of Applied Research, for his innovative DNA-based anti-counterfeiting and authentication technology. As an inventor, Charles Butland sees the invisible, touches the intangible, and creates the impossible. Butland's story proves you can succeed in your chosen field as long as you believe in yourself and your product and be willing to take the action to make it happen.
That's what I do. Place your thumb on a DNA ink pad. Then immediately place your thumb on an object. Write your contact information on the object with a DNA invisible UV writing pen. Use the UV detector light to view what you have marked. If you lose your marked object and recover it, use the UV detector light to prove that without a doubt this object belongs to you. It's easy, it's safe, and it secures.